.18 seconds. They're a little bit advanced, some of these guys. The guys at the pin look safe. They can sort of almost put the hammer down now. Thurlow's put the hammer down. Appliances looks like they could be over. They need room. Okay, this will be individual. I think Appliances was over. We're going to get the numbers up in a minute, the recall numbers. The boys are scrambling around. Number 5. Appliances online. Number 5, over. They need to come back. They've just realised it.
Figured it out. We better get out of here to give them some room. Might be the call.
Yeah, they're going to come shooting back and slightly fouling. Watch for the bear away killer. They come straight down to you, brother.
Done it.
Okay, so good bear away there under pressure. They're going to have to two-sail drive to get round and clear their start, so they won't be disqualified. Alcatel doing a great job on the boat. We've got Sea-Tech from New Zealand sailing with 4 team members, one more than all the rest. It's not against the rules, they can do it. And they have a total combined weight of 300 kilos. And let you know, Mojo's had a crash. They're down, they're gone. Yeah, it's all that. It's an upwind crash, so probably not too bad. Smegs in irons, they're trouble. So there's already trouble happening. But Sea-Tech, which was one of my picks, they have got the afterburner on going up here.
Big waves, mate, big waves. Hang on.
But it's going to take more than speed today. Sea-Tech, little stumble there. They've got away with it.
Right on the edge of that no-go.
Exactly, the really funky air off Bradley's.
Wow.
And we've got, this is, Rag and Famish is down. We've got another red hull boat, can't make it out there, down. Just a matter of whether they can keep it together for 3 laps of this course.
Yeah, 7's there easy, and they're cracked and roaring at it, so they will lead. Yamaha will be second, Thurlow will be third, and perhaps Smeg might be fourth.
That was spectacular. They put the bow
Look,
right
Maersk and Peroni are caught up with each other to the left a bit, Blake. Okay. Yeah, and Appliances go behind us as Jive and got the hammer down. Asco fully airborne.
Look at the Sea-Tech 4-stringer go now.
Yeah, I think that was Aon that went down, Kilo.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's great.
Great hull, yeah. He was 4th. That's a shame.
David's taking his little dig out early, so
okay, now,
he's streaking down there.
Yeah, on our bow it's going to be out of shot, but 7 Yamaha have to deal with some big powerboat waves in a minute.
No, they'll give it a crack.
Yeah, they will. I mean, if they, you know, it's just my observation from here. Happy to be wrong.
Send it.
But yeah, if they can just get a little bit of lighter air, but they got to, when you'll just hit this mark. Beautiful stuff. Okay, we got a cruising boat on their bow. Yeah. Whoa, watch this, and they're turning into them. This could be a shunt. They're going for the drop. This cruising boat's turned right on their bow. This is dodgy. Okay, they've done it. Tommy Anderson doing a good job just flying in there and just firing off the head and the tack at the same time.
Meanwhile, Smeg doing some nice motoring. I'd say he's into fourth, the Smegler.
Gee, Whitty looks a bit optimistic on his jibe line there. Thurlow in good shape to get to the bottom. But, Whitty might have done himself a bit of injury there on the appliances, but maybe not. These guys are pressing in pretty hard. We'll get a good look at the... don't try this at home, folks.
He'll do it all on his own.
Amazing.
Smash that speaker into that little bag.
Amazing stuff.
Took it down too fast. He could have gone another couple of metres with the shed.
The degree of difficulty about 9.8.
Look at the tussle between Smeg and David's got the overlap here.
Yep. Boy room to the appliances online at the corner. The Thurlow just surviving the turn-up.
You know, bagging good points here if they get a fourth. That's definitely keepers. And really that probably, you know, for overall we're sort of thinking Thurlow, Smeg, question mark over 7. This is in terms of the series. Appliances, we thought we'd do better, well in the heavy stuff, but maybe, as you said, with Whitty's injury, bit of a question mark over them. Yeah. So now 7 going for the jibe in much lighter air. C-Tech and Thurlow, who are just coming at him like a freight trains.
Ooh, look at
look, they're
there.
soft. I think Thurlow's going to be able to get inside. Thurlow has no rights. 7 has rights. Okay, Thurlow goes for the jibe inside.
Ooh.
Mate, game on.
Is it what?
C-Tech's lost out a little bit there, got a bit puffy. Okay, Thurlow.
Drag race.
Davey O'Connor. Trent Barnabas. Yep, this is on. C-Tech's been spat out of this.
There they go.
Yep. Going to get the hooter in a second. So great job from those guys. Well done. But geez, weren't they fast up winning the last part of those beats? Just on fire.
Well, it's never over to the Fat Lady Sings, fellas, and that got really interesting at the jibe mark. Go you good thing, Thurlow.
I think it's just perfect, the foiling week, because there's a lot of things happening now in the sailing world and the foiling world, and it's good to mix a little bit everyone, to try to make communication between all together, between kiters, between mods, between catamaran. I think we have so much thing to learn, so much thing to create, to think about, and it's good to have this communication possible in an event like this. So, and the place is just perfect. On morning we just have conference, and just after we're going sailing. So yeah, it's just perfect.
I think it's the fact that sailing's become a lot more fun. I mean, ultimately foiling has been going faster, and faster for me has been more fun. You know, the time spent on the water isn't, I mean, before racing was when it really started, let's say in old displacement boats, racing, or when it was really windy was when you had fun sailing. Testing wasn't that much. Now every day you go sailing, it's really rewarding.
Yeah, we just got off the water, and you know, the conditions are second to none here. Like, it's probably one of the best locations that I've ever ridden. It's been really epic from a riding perspective. We've spent, I think I've been on the water every day about 4 hours or 5 hours, so that shows it. Even after the races we were still, you know, mucking around and mixing with the others.
Well, I think the future is clearly going faster, and the only way to go faster, I mean, the way we found to go faster is foiling. Once I'm confident with that, I can take it to offshore racing and crossing the oceans on foils. I mean, that's my goal.
Luca was out in the UAE with me just over a week ago, and we were researching sites in Abu Dhabi for possibly moving Foiling Week, or adding to Foiling Week, and we'd still have it here, but there would be the opportunity to run a similar event in Abu Dhabi, in the UAE, and I think Luca has plans afoot to do it in other parts of the world as well, which is great.
Leslie Green of the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, the owner and driver of Ginger, is once again the king of the MC38 class in Australia. His young tactician David Chapman engineered a remarkable fight back thanks to today 2 wins. The rest was decided by how the cards fell in Apache Race 10. In front of a chasing spectator fleet on Pittwater, Ginger, Howard Spencer's Menace and John Bacon's Dark Star racked up their title point scores, first, second and third overall respectively, each with 31 points, the epitome of one design racing. Menace's Wind and Dark Star surrendering its commanding fleet lead, chasing a vaporising breeze, then finishing behind Ginger in 6th place, completely rearranged the top order. Second overall Australian champion Menace from New Zealand had a mixed series, and tactician Will Tiller suggested that they sailed badly and it was unbelievable they were in a chance to win. Nothing went their way, he said, and they practiced their tacks between races 9 and 10 and found that extra 10%. He said it was great to see Leslie get it again, as he was a very popular winner. The crowd momentum was with Dark Star in race 10, and then they watched the fleet slowly close the gap, and Bacon and his crew split off from the rest of the fleet to follow Menace. Fourth by 2 points was Marcus Blackmore's Hooligan from the Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club. It turned out that Menace had carried a private breeze with them to the finish, leaving Dark Star out wide and alone. We had to beat Ginger and it couldn't have gone worse for us, Bacon recounted. We followed Menace but didn't get the puff that he got. That's the way it goes, he said. That's Pittwater in light air. And he had opportunities all weekend. One better result on one race could have made the winning. The next stop for the MC38s is the Middle Harbour Yacht Club Sydney Harbour Regatta, March 5 and 6. Where the fleet will race its own division. Then in April, the class begins a 3-part season of championship point scores.
Day 1 of the Rolex Farr 40 World Championship, and the regatta got off to a flying start against the spectacular backdrop of Sydney Harbour. 20-knot winds and a challenging swell ensured the first of 4 days of racing tested the 12-strong fleet in the most dramatic of conditions. All eyes were on the pre-race favourites Plenty, the 2014 World Champions. Having narrowly lost out in last year's Worlds, Alex Roper's team from the USA had a point to prove. However, as the first race got underway, it soon became obvious that dominating this regatta would be no easy feat. Faced with stiff competition and even stiffer winds, it was fellow American yacht Flash Gordon 6 who fared the best in the challenging conditions, giving them victory in the first race of the regatta, with local boat Kokomo placing second. With the bit between the teeth, Helmut and Evan Yarn's Flash Gordon then went in search of back-to-back victories in race 2. But disaster struck. A spinnaker failure opened the door to German yacht Strunchy Light to take the win. The third race and yet another different victor. This time, after a thrilling downwind race for the line, Corinthian yacht Headache fought off both Plenty and Double Black to embarrass the pros and score a valuable first. But as we know, this long 11-race regatta rewards consistency, and although Plenty failed to score any outright race victories, a 5th and 2 seconds were enough to take them to the top of the leaderboard at the end of day 1.
What a day, heinous conditions, huge breeze, huge waves. We dug ourselves holes left and right, but then we had huge speed downwind. Frankly, it doesn't feel like we did really well, but in the end I think the scoreline was quite consistent. So we're very happy coming off the water with in one piece and with a decent scoreline.
Day 2 and 3 more scheduled races, but this time inside Sydney's iconic harbour. Plenty started the day as clear regatta leaders, and right from the start they set about consolidating that lead. In the first race they looked unstoppable as they led from start to finish, scoring their first win of the regatta. However, they didn't have things all their own way. In the second race, Flash Gordon were back to their winning ways. A great race saw them close the gap on the leaders from 4 to just 2 points. Could they close the gap even further in the final race of the day? The final race belonged to Australian yacht Transfusion. Nevertheless, Flash Gordon continued their fight back, stealing second place from Plenty and closing the gap on the leaders to just 1 point at the midway mark in this regatta. With Transfusion lying in third, just 3 points separates the top 3 boats. We're poised for a dramatic showdown in the final 2 days of racing in the 2016 Rolex Farr 40 World Championship.
So today was the medal race here in sunny Florida, and we went into there placing 5th, and the goal was to actually just try go win the medal race and take as much out of it, where we feel the medal race is a possibility to make some more opportunities. And so we didn't quite execute that, unfortunately, but we managed to recover pretty well. I think we finished 6th over the line.
Overall, it's been a pretty tricky week. The conditions have thrown a lot at us. Overall, we're really happy with how we're sailing. We're really pushing ourselves and sailing well. We had one really costly day and a few costly races. So, I mean, that was disappointing. But in the end, we're training for a gold medal in Rio, and we've learned a lot of lessons this week. So it was a tough week. We came 5th still, so we're pretty stoked. But yeah, the eyes are still on the prize.
Yeah, Clearwater gave us like a big range of conditions, so we're really tested in that way. We didn't end up in the top 10 like we hoped. We finished just outside the top 10, I think 14th. So we've got a bit of work to do over the next few months, but really trying to get an Olympic-worthy performance.
Had a bit of a disappointing medal race from a results standpoint. There was an individual recall at the start, and we saw the Danish going back, so we kind of wanted to wait and see if the flag would go down when they went back. And they went back and the flag stayed up. And by that point, we were quite a way upwind, and for us to go back then would have meant that we would have been last in the race the whole way around, I think. So we decided to keep going. Yeah, the race was sailed well. We just a little early at the start, unfortunately.
It's been a pretty tough week here. Yesterday was obviously pretty tough in the rough conditions with the injury, and we were just really happy that we posted a few counters, and then to sail well today was quite nice, but it's not really what we're looking for. We need to do better, and we can't make mistakes like we are. So there's lots of promise, but there's a lot of hard work to do still.
The VPP stands for Velocity Prediction Program, and what it basically is a guess on how fast the yacht goes. We take empirical data that's either off the water or from models that we've come up with over time, or high fidelity data which comes from our CFD calculations. We pull that all together in this software package, and it tells us how fast the boat goes. And what's really interesting about it is you could refine and make one part of the boat optimized for a given condition, but that might not actually net out to be good for the entire package. So without this piece of software, we wouldn't know whether or not a piece of the boat is going to improve the performance or not. And then we go and actually build and construct the model, build and construct the part, bring it onto the water, test it, and then combine the theory with the VPP versus what's actually coming off the data which we get out of Race Cutter and all of our performance data. So we try to make those two things match, correlate as close as we can.
Oh, is this close? My goodness.